This year, over 2 million fans have opted to come out to the ballpark rather than watch at home on TV. But even if you're at the game in person, there's still a lot going on that most fans don't even notice.
This is a baseball. Now, we all know that the pitcher tries to take the baseball and throw it, the batter tries to hit it back. That sounds simple enough. But here's a question for you. Where does the pitcher get the baseball from? Well, we've all seen baseball games. The umpire gives it to the pitcher. That's where. But here's another tougher question. Where does the umpire get the baseball from?
If you saw this woman walking into the ballpark, you probably wouldn't recognize her. But once she dons her customized Cubs uniform, there is no mistaking Marla Collins, the one and only official Cubs ball girl.
I'm responsible for any of the balls that are between the dugouts, basically. Any foul balls, and also keeping the umpire supplied during the game. And they go through about 4 or 5 dozen balls a game. So I'm usually up and down to the plate quite a bit.
That figures out to be at least 20 trips a game, and they both seem to be having a good time.
Most of it is personal. It's between us, you know, little teasing remarks or something like that. Not much of it has anything to do with the game.
The pitcher notwithstanding, without Marla's delivery, there wouldn't even be a game.
Marla's presence on the field is noticed by quite a few of the fans, obviously. But you know what? Out here in center field, there's a guy whose contribution to the game is equal to hers, and we never see him.
The Cubs scoreboard has heart. Make that 3, because that's how many it takes to pump the numbers out onto the face of this manually controlled monolith.
There's a lot of nostalgia here, you know, and this is the only one that's left in the whole league, I think, in both leagues, except the one in Boston, and they only flash the home games on a regular scoreboard. I hope they never take it down, but it's inevitable that they will one of these days.
For the past 70 years, numbered placards have been placed in windows by hand, giving that all-important game information.
Have you ever made a mistake putting the score up?
I made a few.
What happened?
The fans let me know I made a mistake, especially if I put the wrong score up for the opposite team.
But when it comes to watching a game, there's no mistake as to who has the best seat in the house.
You know, when you think about it, a trip to the ballpark is really a big treat for the senses. First, there are the sights, like the green grass, the ball players, the fans, and then there are the smells of the popcorn and the peanuts. You can't forget taste. These hot dogs are delish. But you know something? No trip to the ballpark would be complete without...
Everyone has heard organist Bruce Miles' melodic refrains, but if you'd like to have a listen and a look, head to That Steak Joint on Wells Street after the game, and you'll find him entertaining nightly.
In the restaurant, you know, you talk to the subjects. Here, I'm looking down, and the subjects are a long way away.
Now, when you're playing, how closely do you have to watch the games in order to sync that up with what you're playing?
I never take my eyes off. I never take my eyes off. I watch everything. A stadium musician is sort of a dying breed, I think. But as far as being able to do it, you know, there are only 2 jobs like this in Chicago.
So you hit the
jackpot.
Now, most of us consider ourselves pretty good Cub fans, especially now that they're winning. But don't forget one thing. Fan is short for fanatic.
Jody, woo! Jody, woo! Say, woo! Say, woo! Say, woo! Say, woo!
Here we go, Cubbies! Here we go!
There's a legacy at Wrigley Field that is known to baseball fans all over the nation. It's the people just beyond the outfield wall.
It's the best seat in the house. The sun is warmer out here, the beer is colder, the fans are much smarter, and you can see better.
This year I'm going to go to all the games. Last year I only missed 1 game.
You missed 1 game last year?
Last year, yeah.
What were the
Easter Sunday. I got my arm twisted to get religion.
Do I also understand that you came back from San Francisco for this?
This I did. For the last home stand, I also brought a voodoo doll with me that was in the shape of the Mets, and the fans outside were having fun sticking it to the Mets. The management didn't want the voodoo in the park. I respect their opinions.
What's the contribution of these people out here in the bleachers to the team's winning?
Well, outside the bottom line, I don't know if it gives them any contribution at all. You got to have ball players that can play ball. That's the first. That's why the fans are out here. I was here last year at this time. There was nobody out here except a couple of dozen of us.
It's not easy to escape the cacophonic, anti-melodic blend of falsetto cheers that Ronnie has been emitting since 1962. And now, for the first time, Ronnie reveals his secret.
It's all air. You breathe in and breathe out and relax, and everything comes to you naturally.
Thank you, Ronnie, and thanks to all the people at the Old Ball Game.
Hey,